Hi greedy 3Ds and Star Wars fans, I hope. We're going to be making today the Rancor. You may remember the Rancor from Star Wars. It's the big monstrous thing that Luke Skywalker faces in Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace, and the Rancor, as beastly as he is, does not come off well. We're getting the foil from SW3D. This is a subsidiary of Wicked, and if you're a Star Wars fan with a 3D printer, why are you not on their Patreon? I'll put all the links down below for you. They make some amazing things. Now, as regards the 3D printing of the Rancor, I covered this in my previous video, and I used some Cret B resin printed on the Hagears Ultracraft Reflex RS and RS Turbo, and everything printed beautifully. It's a wonderful, wonderful resin. Check that video out and you can have a look at the whole process. I'm not going to bore you with that now. But here he is in his printed format. Please don't laugh at his high orange legs. He just likes a suntan. But then again, don't we all? Now, before we give him any airbrush paint, I need to give him a layer of primer. And I'm going to be using a rattle can of this. This is Army Painter Black rattle can primer. He's going to have a good old layer of this. I'm going to let it dry and then we can hit him with some airbrush colours. Now, who would have thought that fairy pink would go with a Rancor? Well, it does, and I'm going to give the inside of his mouth and his chops and his jowls a coat of this pink. We're going to come back to it a bit later with a wash, but I want to give it a base layer of pink. I'm being as careful as I can to keep it from the outside of him before I move on to some brown colours. I'm going to be using rawhide and a brush whack brown on this. I didn't use the leather in the end, so I started off with rawhide. Now, because he's been primed in black, going over with the brown is just going to leave some of that black coming through just in the extremities and just in those bits under his arms and under his legs before moving on to the higher tone and concentrating on a zenithal brown shade across his high areas, concentrating around his face and his belly, the backs of his hands, on his knees, just areas that are going to stick out just a little bit with that lighter colour. I don't want to overdo this colour, I don't want to desaturate him, but I certainly want to give him some shade and a bit of variance. Now I'm going to move on now to the opposite side of the spectrum with some Agrax Earth shade, concentrating below, going under his legs, under his arms, under his jaw, under his chin, and just across him generally to give that. This colour is like a dark brown, but it's a wash. It's so thin it goes straight through your airbrush without any thinning down, and it really does just add another layer of colour to the Rancor. Now, I have picked up the skeleton bone, but before I've done this, what I haven't caught is him actually having a seal, and I sealed him with some clear varnish before taking skeleton bone, getting the majority of that paint off this big makeup brush using an old 3D print that I've got lying around. And now I'm just going to dry brush him across in certain areas to try and highlight and extenuate some of the features and the scales and the pits and the grooves of him. Now, he can look a little bit desaturated. In fact, I think I've overdone with the dry brushing just a little bit, but that's fine. I can pull that back at the end with, again, just a wash of some more Agrax brown. But I did want to give him quite a stark contrast and make sure that the darks are dark and the lights are at the high end. And I think I've achieved that, but I thought his face did look a bit desaturated. I've taken some of this red wash now, and I'm going to go over that fake pink tongue and just let the wash sit into the background, let it find all the nooks and all the crannies inside his mouth. The other thing you may notice is the tongue has got some of those support settings still on there, but what I've done is I've left them on there because I think they add to the detail. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it just lazy printing, or do you agree that sometimes leaving support settings or the divots can add to the piece? I'm interested to hear what you think. A little bit of a red wash underneath his eyes, and I did a little bit around his nostrils as well, just to add another je ne sais quoi to the colour and add a little bit more variance to him. I haven't overdone the red wash because it certainly doesn't look like this creature is covered in red. He's more of an earthy coloured creature, but I'm happy the way this is coming along. Now I'm going to take some of that skeleton bone colour again. Such a versatile colour, probably my favourite in a whole Army Painter range, to be honest. And I'm going to paint all of his nails, giving them a coat of this all the way across to make sure I've got the complete angle of the nail from each side before doing his hooves or his big toenails or whatever they are on a Rancor. Again, this is just Army Painter paint, and I'm going to give it one coat of that, and that's it. Next, same colour, and I'm going to do his teeth, making sure to get the backs of the teeth, the sides of the teeth, and going from the very top of the root. I don't want to hit any of that pink jawline. Fortress Grey is the next colour of choice. Now his eyes, if you look at reference pictures for his eyes, they just show him as being dark. Sometimes I saw pictures of him with a little hint of grey. Now I wanted to just do something so his eyes stuck out a little bit. So I just left them dark but put in a dot of grey, and that was it. And I really didn't need to go overboard on the eyes. I think he looks menacing with those grey eyes, and I'm going to put some liquid shiny on there a little bit later on. Now pallid bone is a great magic ingredient for nails. If you place this over the skeleton bone, you will see that it makes nails and it makes hooves and it makes teeth just look like they are dirty, they are used, they are worn, they are tarnished, and that's exactly the effect we want with this monster. So it's an easy way to get the effect. Just two colours, skeleton bone and then this skeleton pallid bone colour, sorry. And again, that's his hooves being painted. I give them about 2 coats, and on the second coat I just try to concentrate more to where the start of the nail is. Now there's teeth next, and same again, 2 coats with that, and the second coat I just went to the gum line just to try to make it look a little bit gradiented, and there he is. I'm happy with the way that the bones have come out. There's a little bit of silver on him. Now I don't want to make this a stark silver because nothing else on him is a stark colour, so I took a dry brush, put some silver on it, and then I cleaned it all the way across with that before giving it a little bit of black panel wash, which I didn't catch on video, just to darken it back up again. Exactly the same detail on the chain. I considered some rust on that, but I didn't do it in the end. But what I did do is I painted, he's got like an earring of some kind. I suppose this is how they control the beast when they're riding him. If you've seen Boba Fett, you know what I'm talking about. Before taking a little bit of this waste wash, this is just a brown wash that I've put onto a stiff toothbrush, and I'm going to speckle it all over him. I think this just adds a wonderful effect, and it's simple. It looks freckling, it looks like there's little marks on him, and again I think this was needed just to try to desaturate him a little bit, as he does look a little bit pale around the face. So I wanted to definitely put some more marks on there just to bring it back a little bit to the darker side, the dark side, see what I did there, and then putting a bit on his tummy and across the inside of his legs, etc. So back to the airbrush again, and some Agrax Earthshade now, just to I think I've used the word desaturate far too much, so I'm just going to bring him back a little bit to the brown, just to get rid of some of that dry brushing on the face, which was all part of the plan, to be honest. I always intended to give him a little wash at the end just to try to even everything up, because I think dry brushing just on its own without a wash over it, especially in a creature like this, it needs a little bit of help to bring it back to the original kind of colours, and to make that dry brushing just pushed back into the background. Now some varnish. You may notice this is Kaleido varnish, and I've got a video coming on Kaleido. This is a Galeri paint or a varnish, and I'm going to do the inside of his mouth with this one, and make him look a bit shiny and make his mouth look a little bit wet. Don't worry, we're going to do a little bit more, but I wanted to get the inside of his mouth wet. Gloss varnish is what I'm going to use for his eyes, because there is no way I'm spraying his eyes, so I'm putting a dollop of gloss varnish just over each eye, and while I've got that varnish out, I'm just going to go over the teeth a little bit more, just to make them look a little bit more shiny and wet and damp and gooey. He is a Rancor at the end of the day, of course, so we need him to look a little bit drooly and a little bit wet around the gills. And to do that, further UV resin, clear resin, and I'm going to pop that on with a UV brush. This can get a little bit messy. A nice strong UV light to cure it, and I want to catch it as it drips, so I'm trying to leave it as long as I can before shining onto it directly, to try and catch the drip coming down. And it's trial and error. Sometimes it drips, sometimes you catch it, and I've just gone over that a few times, increasing the length of the drip and just making sure that he's going to look really fancy. Getting it all over your torch, Greedy. You get what I'm doing with this. His mouth is going to look really drooly when this is all over, and that's exactly what we want. He's a big monster, or he's only a 25% to scale monster. Now I did print the base that comes with it from SW3D, I should say, but I found that just a little too overpowering. So I've took a miniature base which I found free on printables. I scaled it up on my A1 to the size that I wanted it, and it's almost good enough to go like that. You could just paint it if you wanted to, but I didn't want to just paint it. I'm going to do something a little bit different, taking some Gorilla Wood glue. Any kind of PVA glue will do. I'm just going to splodge it across the gradient of the surface of the pattern, and using a digit, I'm just going to smear that glue all the way around until it's covered all the top of it. I want to try and keep all that glue off the side. And taking some of this brown Battlefield from the Army Painter, I'm going to put that across the top there, and I'm going to move that all the way around until it's covered the whole thing. Now I'm going to leave it there. You can, if you want to, paint it, wash it, add skulls, do what you want to do. The world is your oyster when it comes to bases. I just want a fairly simple base because I don't want to take away from the monster himself, from the Rancor himself. So I'm going to leave it like that, get the rest of that wonderful sandy goodness off so I can reuse it on my next adventure. And once that's glued on, I'm going to just give it a layer of varnish across the top just to seal it all in, which I don't think I caught. In fact, I know I didn't catch that on video, just to seal it in. And then I went across to Tinkercad, made this little Star Wars Rancor plaque, which I then printed on my Bamboo Labs A1 and had the highlighting areas in white. And here's what it looks like. Hope you enjoy. Oh, it's great fun painting a Rancor, isn't it? Now I'm going to ask you a little favour. Could you just hit, please, that subscribe button? Take you a couple of seconds. It's just down here somewhere. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free, it's quick, it is very, very simple, and it just helps the channel grow. It tells YouTube you like this kind of content, and by doing that little free, simple step, it really does ensure the growth of Greedy 3D, and I thank you for that. We do have a Patreon, of course, as well, if you want to join that. I'll put all the details down below for you to have a little read. Let me know what you thought about the Rancor painting. I love your feedback, constructive feedback, to see what you thought, whether you thought that something could be done better or worse. Support settings, that's an interesting one. Leave me a comment about that. I've left them on this model just to make it look a little more bubbly and a little more bobbly, especially on his tongue and on his butt. Have I been lazy, or have I done something that's to the positive of the model? You decide. Let me know in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed it, though. All things being equal, let me know what you think, and who knows what we're going to be painting or doing next. That's the good thing about this channel. We don't know what we're doing. I do know I've got some paints to review from Galeri that I showed you a little snippet at in the varnishing stage. So I'll be looking at those paints. I think I've got some laser engravers, got some printers, got all sorts of things are coming up. But we'll have to wait and see. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And did I mention subscribing? I think I might have done. Thanks for watching. See you next time.